Sideswipe. Hi, my name is Chris Farah and welcome to my channel where tonight we'll be talking about Love After Lockup. This is on WETV and I really need you guys to be watching this. This is a crazy ass show and it's only going to get bigger. If you think you love 90 Day Fiancé, Love After Lockup is... I don't even know what to say because we're coming upon such a golden time for the trashiest reality television. Like The Bachelor's on, we have Drag Race on right now, we have 90 Day Fiancé just ended, we have Love After Lockup, Low Hands On, Extreme Love, Temptation Island, we're talking Celebrity Big Brother, The Masked Singer. It's like I can't even do it all. I wish I could do it all for you. Listen, this is what I want, a production company or my own channel where I could do the recaps of all the shows that are necessary for pop culture and water cooler talk. That's what I want to give you. So share the vision with me, won't you? If you haven't already, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. It will really, really help. This episode was called Rings and Runaways. And that made sense because it's alliteration, and Rings had to do with Sarah, Michael, and Meghan, and Runaways had to do with Clint and Tracy. Before I start, I just want to give a shout out to Nena,
who watches these videos and loves Wa and I. So thank you so much. And I also want to shout out all my peeps in my lives that I love so much, like Joy, Lou, Mickey, Enigma, the other Joy, Mika, Micah, Lucy, Keyfic Teacher, April, Duo, Lindsay, Karen, Linda. I'm literally doing this off the top of my head. I didn't write any of your names down, so if I'm missing people, that's just like, give me a second. I'll do more lives. I'll get to know you all. I love you. I really do.
Who to start with? We're gonna start small, work our way up, honey. So the first couple is Meghan, Michael, and Sarah. Now this opens on a very familiar scene. Meghan getting ready to go to an airport to go see Michael. Except this time we have the memory of last time, which is when he said don't come. Everyone also remembers that, like her dad, who's like, remember when he literally told you not to come and he like stood you up? I wish that happens again. I wish you can get your heart broken now and let's get rid of it now. Let's be done of this situation now. I would rather you be hurt now than you go through with this. That's his baby daughter. And he has a very thick neck. And she's a virgin. Maybe she should have gone on The Bachelor. Like her and Colton can have a thing where virgins can be innocent with each other without being like bamboozled by other people. Anyway, where's Michael? Oh, just shopping for rings, wedding rings with Sarah because they're married. And it was also dropped. They got married on Friday the 13th. So I wish them the best of luck. They're gonna need it. This was also hard to watch because what happens is Michael manipulates the situation to be thusly. After ring shopping with Sarah, he says he of course wishes he can put a ring on Meghan's finger because he's obsessed with Meghan right now. Meghan's the one right now. Meanwhile, his daughter and his wife are driving him around. He knows he has to go to Meghan, and Meghan is in Niagara Falls of all places. Part of his setup was her going to Niagara Falls, right? And he has to get there. What's the problem? Oh, I don't know, his wife and his daughter that have been holding him down the whole time he's been in prison. So he has to make a quick getaway, and how does he do it? Picking a fight. Picking a fight. First calls Sarah picky over a ring. He's like, well, whatever ring I get, you wouldn't be good enough for you. And I don't even know why we have to wear rings because it's like a symbol. It's like a basic symbol that other people do. And she's like, oh, because you don't want girls to know you're married. After all I've done, is that what it's going to be? Meanwhile, Meghan just like takes the flight to Niagara Falls. There's a guy at the airport to pick her up, like some shuttle person. Who paid for all of this? Who paid for it though? Who's paying literally for her to get to Niagara Falls from the airport? I believe she paid for her flight. And Michael has no money. Unless he saved some of the $12,000 that she gave him. You tell me. Or I don't know, maybe he made some money when he laid down some beats when he was back at his home place. Back in the car with Sarah and Michael, Michael is just picking at Sarah in such a way and like aggravating her and getting her to be upset. Being kind of cold and being rude after like all that she's done. And she doesn't understand why he's being so cold to her when she's like, I literally held you down. That is our daughter in the back seat. But she's very immature and she's screaming. Meanwhile, the daughter, Aviana, who doesn't really know her dad, is just seeing her mom flip out and just keeps screaming mommy in the back. She's cool. She probably has a grandmas. 2 great grandmas. Then they like drop Aviana off because they get that that's crazy and then continue to fight in the car. I don't know where they dropped Aviana off. They didn't even talk about it. I was just like, that was somebody's house, honey. The producers must have been like, that looks crazy. Drop your daughter off. You know, you're fighting. And she's like screaming. Then Michael gets in his car and like gets what he wants, to be alone and to get to Meghan. Meanwhile, Sarah is just left wondering what the hell she waited for all these years. Hopefully she's thinking that. Actually, she's not thinking that. I think they're still together. Do you want a spoiler? Michael's back in prison. Parole violation, I think. We can see how that happened. Then the next couple is Kaitlyn and Matt. So it opens on Kathy, and she's washing dishes and she's doing laundry, and she's doing both of their laundries, and they're in their 30s. Now she's used to Matt's laundry, but like Kaitlyn's, her underwear and stuff like that, she's a washing, she's a folding, she's using Febreze. I don't even know what she's doing. She's using a fabric softener, honey, and she's like folding them and putting them in the room. And she's complaining about it, which half of me is like, then don't do it. Let them wash their own clothes. Kaitlyn's like, at least like, should we go fold clothes? And Matt's like, what for? He's drinking a beer. It's 11 a.m. He doesn't want to find a job. He doesn't care. He wants some time to decompress from prison. And Kaitlyn's like, we have no money. Also, I don't know. I thought that you were gonna like court me when you came out of prison for some reason. I thought you were going to romance me up a little, wine and dine me for some reason. And so why don't you take me on a date so I can get dressed up and look good for you? So knowing that they have no money, they go on a date. He takes his mom's credit card. That poor Kathy, okay? That poor woman. So at this place, they order like a yummy appetizer. You know, I saw it. It was like Italian rice balls. I bet there was like yummy cheese in the middle. I bet it was really warm and salty. And then they had entrees and drinks, and then they had like a yummy dessert, and all that came up to like $123 and some change, which is, that makes sense. However, Matt's reaction is like, oh, that's too much, and I'm not paying for it, and let's dine and ditch. And Kaitlyn is like, no, what? No. And he's like, no, absolutely, we are not paying this. Just get the fuck out. Let's just leave. And she's like losing her mind, right? Because this whole time she's like feared that Matt's just gonna like step right back into prison. She's very afraid of that and doesn't understand why he's not more into not being in prison. He's like, no. I don't want to be in prison. I mean, how do I say this? I'm obsessed with everything that leads up to being in prison. Matt. So then he makes Kaitlyn get up, and Kaitlyn's freaking the hell out. And then he's like, we're gonna go right when the waiter like walks by. We're just gonna run. And then she's like, please, no. And she like gets her up, and they make a break for it. And then before they leave, he's like, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it's fine. Let's pay for it. He's like a credit card. But like, you would really think I would do that? And Kaitlyn's like, you know, like, yes, she does. We all do. 100%, everyone, including the producers, everyone, including the waiter, thought that was real. And the waiter was like, is this going to happen on TV with a film camera here? That's weird. I'm still going to get paid, but really? Kaitlyn should have known that he wasn't going to dine and ditch when he like went back to get the doggy bag full of food. Usually, like, if you're like going to do something bad, you're like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. I dined and ditched once, and it was like a very intense experience for me when I was like in college, and I dined and ditched at downtown Disney. I'm just going to be honest, because I had horrible service. They sat us on the roof and it was freezing, and they never came to us. And when they brought us food, like an hour later, it was cold, and our waiter was so mean. So we just all left. It was like a table of 6 girls. Listen, I'd do it again. Thankfully, I didn't go to prison, and I still can go to Disneyland. Not after this video. Next couple is Marcelino, damn it, and Brittany. Okay, so we had a very small scene with them, and it was basically Marcelino brings Brittany breakfast, which is fruit and frappuccinos, and they have a conversation. Brittany had 2 kids when she was a teen, and those 2 kids went up to adoption, but then she has another kid, and that kid is like 3 or 4 years old, but was 1 year old when she went to prison. And they have this conversation where she's gonna go see her son, and she's like, and obviously Marcelino's gonna go with her, and she's like, I want you to love him like, you know, he's your son. And he's like, that really, gives me pause, because I like had a bad situation with my stepdad. He just like sat around and drank. And my real dad, in fact, I didn't have a father figure. In fact, I don't think that a woman can raise a man. And she's like, okay. Well, I think that you can just pick to be a better parent than your parent, like I did. My mom was horrible. We've talked about it. And I just chose to be a better mom than she was. That's what Brittany says. And I used to like Brittany so much, but when she said that, I was like, girl, you went to prison when your baby was 1, and that's your 3rd baby. And you don't even know your other 2. No offense. When did you make a decision to be a good mom? I mean, my God, I'm just like, maybe you just made that decision and this is like a new life for you? Then okay. Okay. Yeah, I hope you are a better mom for your baby. And maybe this baby won't remember anything and will just know you as your mom. And maybe this is your new life. And I'm really hoping it is, because I think that of all these couples, Brittany and Marcelino have the best chance at it, because she doesn't seem to want meth or crack or needs it as much right out of prison or a drink as, I don't know, every other person. So like whatever program she did to get off the drugs worked, and whatever program all the other ones did in prison, no worked. No work. Okay, Lizzie and Scotty are not in this episode to make room for what was the saga of our times. And that saga was Clint and Tracy's wedding. Last we saw Clint, he was hanging outside the wedding venue. It's like Westwood bar with like pool. That's the venue. But Clint's outside, and we get a little fun scene with the pastor who comes out to, ask him some questions. Like, hi, son, gotta ask you some questions before I marry you in the eyes of God. You and this woman I'm not gonna meet. You know how you met this woman on a prison dating website and you barely know her, but in the eyes of God, you're legal. And we don't think that 2 guys or 2 women could be legal that are actually in love, have known each other for a long time. I mean, sometimes that's what we think. I'm Pastor Paul. You guys gonna pay me for this, right? Clint remarks that, she's running a little late, but she's gonna come. And Pastor Paul's like, yeah, it's a little late because it's like 3 hours late. 3 hours turn into 4 hours. We're inside the bar now. This isn't a wedding where these are the guests. This is a bar on a Wednesday night with its regulars that are just like in between the mechanical bull setup and the line dancing that's going to happen before. And they've just like partitioned off a small part of the dance floor that the pastor and Clint is just standing on, waiting for Tracy. There's like rowdy bar patrons, okay? That are having fun, they're eating peanuts, the shells on the floor. Tracy walks in, honey. Tracy walks in with her like wedding dress that she bought that I hope was not more than $500, which if I could tell you right now, honestly, look, $39.99 Charlotte Russe. And she is like sporting, don't worry, that purple lingerie that she had in the morning. It's like bra strap in the back, bra strap in the front. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something bra strap. Like that's what we got. They read each other their vows. Clint's vows are very nice. He reads them off his phone. They are very heartfelt. He made them up long. I don't know what she wrote in 5 hours or what she did in 5 hours. Then they're married. And then that's it. They're in the car and it's melancholy. It's bad. It's like she's looking weird and he's looking weird. They look guilty. They look bad. They look like they're not having fun. They look like they're awkward. And she says she needs a drink. And he says he wants to bone. And she's not excited about boning. Her mind is somewhere else. The next morning, producers Chiron say that they were scheduled to film and they went to go film. And this is what they saw. Morning after mess. Shot glasses, limes, kicked off heels, and the ever so faint crying sounds of a woman? No, not a woman. It's Clint. Clint is weeping. Asks a producer for a phone. Where's his phone? Where's Tracy? Clint calls who? Alice, his mom, the best mom in the whole world. Well, Alice just has to hear the sound of her baby boy's voice. She knows something's up. He's like, Mom, did you try calling me? And she's like, yes. Okay, I just wanted to tell you that I'm fine. Why are you crying? I'm not. Yes, you are, Clint. I can tell. Is she gone? I was like, did you see that? What's happening? He keeps going. What's going on? Everything is fine, Mom. I'm just heartbroken. And then he tells the story, and the story is this. At 5 a.m. he woke up. Okay, no, we gotta back up. This is the story. I'm gonna tell you what I think happened, and I'm gonna tell you what he says. He says that she got some drugs because she has a problem. That problem is crack. Crack is not whack. Crack is back. Tracy has it. And that she got some before the wedding, and then she stayed up in the hotel room with him and just vented how this is a huge monster on her back and how sad she is, and he like probably didn't bone and was just like crying with her, and then he like fell asleep on the couch at 5 a.m. and then he goes in bed to cuddle with her. And then in the morning, she looks over at him and she's just like, let's get more. Then he leaves because he's heartbroken to get her more crack. And then when he comes back, she's gone. Took his cell phone, took his car. Okay, here's where it gets even shadier. Then he cries on the phone with his mom. I know I made mistakes, but I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Like saying he didn't do meth. He has no charges for meth, but I mean, how do I say this? His skin says something else. Okay, updates. Updates are, Tracy was arrested twice since this filming. Once, that we're gonna see, he brings in marijuana and gets arrested for trying to bring that into the facility, and also like for driving with it or something. He also crashes a little Debbie truck. Straight up crashes a little Debbie truck. She just got out of prison January 6th. They're still together, from what I hear. This is a recent picture I found. She looks skinny. I don't think it's keto. His mom's like, well, okay, honey, well, you can just get an annulment and then I'll always come pick you up. We'll just pretend this never happened. He's like, no, Mom, I gotta find her. I'm in love with her. I want to make it work. And that's where the episode ends, honey. That is where the episode ends. Clint is in love. And once Clint's loyal, he's loyal. And Clint's the marrying kind. He loves being married. I think he's very into monogamy. All right, you all, thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and thank you so much for liking and subscribing to me and commenting below your thoughts, your feelings. I'm gonna write back. You know how I am. I really appreciate if you want to follow me. I would love you to. I am on Instagram and Twitter, and my name is Chris L. Farah. Chris L. Farah. The L is for 11. Like 11. Because that's what the time it is, and honey, I'm tired. This season's crazy. We're gonna see what happens next week. It's all gonna keep boiling up, honey. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art. God bless. Bye.